Modified guitar body calls for a modified pickguard. We're getting started right now. Okay, I'm actually between coats of wipe-on poly with this, but I need something to do in the interim while I wait for this to dry. So I figured this would be a good time to deal with the issue of the pickguard. Now, we started with a Stratocaster body. This is a Stratocaster Pickguard, but of course when you cut the horn down, it leaves you a little excess up here. So what I have to do is cut that off, round it off, and make it look a little more suitable. So I want to make sure I have this lined up properly. I'm going to take my neck, slide it in here, nice and tight. I'm also going to line the bridge up, match up the 6 string holes and the 3 mounting holes. It looks pretty good. Now when I put this on, everything will probably be pretty close to where it's going to be in the finished product. Got pretty nice even spacing here for the around the bridge. This is up tight against the neck cavity. This looks even, this looks even. So now what I need to do is just make a mark on this and see if I can come in a little closer on this for you. Unfortunately with this setup I can't zoom, so alright, make sure this is lined up. Everything looks pretty good. So I want to kind of leave about the same distance as this is going here, up around here. So I'm going to take this extremely exclusive, fancy, imported French writing instrument, Le Pen, and make a mark on here. And I'm hoping 1 will show up and 2 will kind of fall in line with what I'm trying to do. Okay, it doesn't show up all that well. So maybe I need to break out the big guns here. I don't want to make it too round, but yet again I don't want to make it too sharp. Okay. Don't know how that's going to look. I don't know. What do you think? Too much? It's hard to tell. I think what I'm going to do when I cut this off is not cut this angle in. I'm going to kind of cut it almost straight off here and then work the edges down a little at a time. This still has the plastic protective coating on, so my mark isn't going to end up staying on there if I cut above or below or whatever. And there you have, this is the pickguard that's going on the JAGOCASTer. In case you were wondering, it's been a secret, it's red. So I'm going to head downstairs to the other workshop and cut and shape this thing. See if we can't get it nice and smooth and round and looking a little bit more like this side. And before I do that, you're not going to see this part, but I'm going to put another coat of poly on this body and set it up to dry. So see you in the downstairs workshop. Okay, down in the basement workshop, coping saw, Pickguard on the workbench, have our line cut here. I have a scroll saw I could probably use for this, but as I said, I think I'm going to start by just cutting straight across here and not worry so much about the curve. We have other ways to put that curve in here, so I'm just going to try to cut this off. Just straight across. Okay, that was easy enough. See, now I can work this curve down a little bit with either the belt sander or my Dremel tool. So let's, I think I'll start with a belt sander. Start with a belt sander, maybe take these curves down a little bit, see how that works out. Okay, belt sander did a pretty good job of rounding those corners off. And you can see this is a 3-ply Pickguard, white, black, white in between there. So I still need to get this a little bit rounder, and then I got to get that bevel on there too. This might be a little too active for that. So I think I might try it with this guy and see what that does. Let's give that a shot. Okay, the rotary tool, or Dremel, whatever you want to call it, did a pretty good job of rounding this off. Not perfect yet. I'm going to give it a little more of a rounding, but I'm also going to try to put that bevel on there. Hopefully without taking off too much material. So let's give it a shot. Okay, well, that turned out pretty well, pretty good. Let's look at it without that light on there. Got a pretty smooth edge here, pretty round. These are amazing tools, these rotary tools. If you have a light touch with them, you can do wonders. I think what I want to do now is take a little bit of some 220 on this block I have here and maybe just go over this lightly. A little bit more without the block. Just to smooth that transition from the original part into the new curve. Okay, I think that looks pretty decent. A little bit more here. I think all in all, turned out pretty well. All right, I'm going to stop there because I'm happy with it. Unfortunately, can't test it out till my third coat of poly dries on the body, which will be tomorrow morning, so we'll check it out then and see what it looks like. So hang in there because it'll only seem like a second before I'm back.